Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome award-winning, multi-platinum country music icon and star of the upcoming Fox series Monarch, Trace Adkins.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
The search is over. The most comprehensive oval scoring solution is here. Featuring oval playoffs, adjust drivers per round, custom number of rounds, custom playoff points, provisionals, optional win and you're in, custom playoff displays, rookie championships, optional minimum participation, and load those results in seconds. Visit extremescoring.info today.
RICMOTECH, high-performance sim racing equipment. There's only one place to go, RICMOTECH.com.
The following is an All-Star 15 TV production.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to All-Star 15 TV. It is night number 2 of the RICMOTECH all week long XMS is on the channel. RICMOTECH Xfinity series tonight. We are back, and they're going through the driver's meeting right now as you see all the Xfinity cars on pit road at the moment. But before we go any further, the chat very much wants this. But first, we got to go with Mike Campigio because, hey, he's been here the longest. He's my original, my OG broadcasting partner on Wednesday nights. Mike, how you doing, pal?
AJ, how we doing? Welcome everybody back to the channel. AJ, new league for us on a Wednesday night. Looking forward to it. I was on track last night in the truck series for XMS. So what's the saying? If it's two things that I'm gonna mess the saying up. So you know what I mean. It's what if it's so good the first time, why not have it the second time?
I know. That's why I'm happy that we were able to acquire both Tuesday and Wednesday night leagues. The trucks on Tuesdays, and obviously Wednesday nights having the Xfinity series, because it keeps us kind of in the same bubble with this league, as qualifying, as you guys can tell, has started. But let's not push this any further. The moment of truth for the wonderful people out in the interwebs. The driver, the number 23 Subway truck from last night, and I could just hear the YouTubes and everybody in the stands listening to us on the radio. It's Anthony Campbell.
AJ, Mike, thank you. Welcome. Thank you for having me. It's I appreciate you guys letting me be up here.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what you bring to this. Mike is a driver, you're a driver, I'm a broadcaster, so I'm just gonna host this thing and honestly sit back, relax, have some fun with the two of you. This is going to be a very fun season, a very fun night. Just like last night, they are going to be twin 35-lap races, qualifying on the track right now going on. Nobody has put down a time yet. So, ladies and gentlemen, you are in for a treat. If it's anything like what we saw last night, there's going to be absolute pure chaos from start to finish, with no wrecking until the tri-oval on the last lap.
I still can't get over that finish last night and watching that first duel, AJ. That was incredible.
Yeah, that was absolutely incredible. And while qualifying's going on, thank our sponsors in the bottom right-hand corner. Thank you to RICMOTECH Extreme Scoring for helping us get everything set up. Kevin did a great job assisting me with adapting me to the system. And Mike, I gotta give a huge shout out to you. You bought an All-Star 15 Goes Pink t-shirt today. We have a surprise for everybody starting next week. We have a surprise for everybody going next week. We're going to go a little bit earlier and really get in the Daytona atmosphere, as Gary Wells is currently on pole with a 51.42. Now, Anthony, Tony, Subway, whatever you want me to call you. I'm pretty sure the chat's going to tell me to just call you Subway.
Yeah, probably.
Qualifying around this place, we've seen multiple ways to do it. Some do that first lap to the high side. Some don't care and go right down to the double yellow line. As a driver, what is your preference to put down a hot lap here?
So, as a driver, I was always told and I was taught by buddies, by people I raced with over the years, that you always want to take the high side and get about 2-3 feet off the wall. Just have your tires above that the white stripe lines up there, and take that for the whole lap one. And then when you come to the tri-oval for your second lap, you kind of want to ride that yellow line all the way around for that second lap. Now, some drivers will dip, as you see here with the 4 machine there. He dipped underneath onto the apron. I personally don't do that. I'm scared I'll get sideways, but some drivers have more confidence than I do.
Yeah, Mike, I'm happy you both were in 2 different duels last night, because they were 2 different atmospheres. I think that second duel you were in, Mike, was complete caution free, even though you were completely sideways going into turn 3, able to save it. And you're going to start the race next week, just unfortunately in the back. But did you learn anything from last night? What is something that you were able to take for your limited time on racetrack with a pack that you could then take to the Daytona 250 next week?
Well, AJ, what I got out of it was, one, I'm a heck of a wheelman to save that thing in the grass. I will say that to start off. But 2, the trucks are very, very, very loose in the draft, and if you don't push somebody the right way, yeah, there's gonna be trouble with those things. And the trucks are not as stable as what they used to be on iRacing, which is kind of cool in a way. So it kind of puts the drivers back into the hands of the trucks. But it's Daytona. It's chaos. It doesn't matter where you start. I mean, you can start at the front, you can start in the middle, start in the back. I mean, you can be in a wreck, or you can win it from any of those positions. So as long as you're in it and survive the chaos, you'll have a shot at the end.
Yeah, as we've seen, whether it's on iRacing, on one of these broadcasts, or in real life, you can go from the front to back to the front, and maybe a half a lap, full lap. It really determines your drafting partners and what line you're in and who's also in that line. So thank you everybody for joining. If you haven't yet, we hit 20 likes last night. We're almost at 200 views on YouTube alone, but if you take Twitch and Facebook also into that, we're closer to 550. So let's blow that completely out of the water. Hit that like button, subscribe, follow. Thank you everybody for helping us out last night. We're going right back into it tonight, but let's bring in those race infos for everybody watching at home. It's a RICMOTECH Xfinity series. We're doing 35 laps twice. Heat 1 for the inside lane, Heat 2 for the outside lane. Those are going to be divided up through qualifying with even numbers on the outside, odd numbers on the inside. And it's just going to be that whole row, both heats. Track temp, we're looking at a cool 82 degrees, so there's a lot of grip. It is absolutely gorgeous out. Mike, I love coming down here to Daytona International Speedway, especially for these truck and Xfinity races. Not because they're shorter races, which is nice, because they're night races. Night races are so much fun here because there's so much more grip, and you could do a heck of a lot more with these cars or trucks.
Oh yeah, AJ, for sure. It's a lot different than the hot, sunshiny day out there on the high banks, but it also gives you more of a kind of vibe.
George Torres, P1, great lap there.
That was
57.79.
That was a heck of a run. And Joe, actually, last week in the recruitment race, won the Xfinity Series recruitment race here. So Joe is going to be very sneaky pick for somebody tonight if you're watching.
Well, which we're also going to have that starting next week. We are going to start our game of fantasy picks. As you're going to see on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, myself, Gary, and Ryan will pick our 3 drivers. We only get a certain amount of picks for them throughout the year, and we're going to start that here as well for myself, Mike, and Anthony. Play along at home, because I'm going to ask you every week, who you picking? You get 5 picks of those drivers throughout the whole season, including the playoffs. Okay, we're not betting. This is just for fun.
I was going to say, did put a disclaimer out there for all the betting apps at home.
Yes. I know somebody at work that did the eliminator thing for the NFL a couple weeks ago, and everybody in that league, outside of like 4 people, chose the Patriots to lose against the Bengals. All 6 of them had to pay the winners either $500 each or shave their eyebrows.
Oh, no thanks.
My eyebrows too precious for me.
Well, I could safely say my boss removed his eyebrows.
He's a better man than me. No way.
That's a lot of money you'd have to pay out. But Joshua Vital on the racetrack, first lap of 51.29, and Daniel Krim, last night's duel winner with a 55.35, a very slow warm-up lap. Finish qualifying. Vital is going to move to P3, and what are we going to see from Daniel Krim? And survey says good for 13th. 25 drivers have taken a time, and that is going to be it. Eric Stout and Carter Casey are not taking a lap time tonight because we only have 25 seconds left.
So I'm expecting Krim to win this race. No tires on the ground tonight after what he did last night.
So after him being backwards, now you think he's going to one-up it by being upside down?
Yes, I do.
All right, we'll hold you to that. I won't give you good odds on that because after both races having crazy finishes at the line, we're betting pretty good right now. Broadcasters, would you all rather shave your eyebrows or pay $250? Bet. No, I'd rather remove the eyebrows, unfortunately.
Yeah, $250 is a lot.
Especially nowadays.
$20 is a lot.
In duel number 1, we have Joe Torres sitting on the pole, Joshua Vital outside pole, Jeffrey Goodpaster and Alan Fox in your second row. In your third row, you have Caleb Lamb and Dennis Ansman. In row 4, Daniel Krim, Kyle Miller. Row 5, Gary Wells, Mike Robinson, Daniel Paulus, and Ethan Pimpley. Rounding out row 6 and row 7, Michael Caffrey and Eric Stout. It's going to be a very interesting race. This is going to be a very fun race. I'm waiting for them to actually grid up and get going so it'll fix the timing and scoring. Because it's completely messed up here. But let's do it, boys. We are about to hit those loud pedals. Gonna get one lap under pace. Mike, glad to have you back, pal.
Yes, and AJ, we got some breaking news here for the channel.
What's that?
So we after all the events tonight, stick around for all the viewers at home. We are going to be interviewing the duel winners, the front row starters, for next week's main event. So stick around for 4 interviews tonight there, AJ.
Yes.
Breaking news.
Just like last night. There it goes. There it is. We have a lot of Chevys, 2 Fords, and 2 Toyotas rounding the field. I have a question for Subway. Who is your favorite sibling?
Man. Man,
Choose
favorite
wisely.
sibling? I don't know if I have a favorite, to be honest. They each had their. I got two younger brothers, and they each had their pros and their cons, and it's different between the both of them. So I really can't decide. I can't pick a favorite.
I mean, that's a very diplomatic answer we have from Mr. Subway. So it looks like we will be talking to Joe Torres after the second duel tonight, because as long as he gets around this racetrack, he will start on pole next week for the Daytona 250. And Mike, who's gonna be starting pole for Heat 2?
Starting on pole for heat number 2 is going to be Michael Thwaites.
All right. Well, he had a really good outing last night as well.
Yeah, he was pretty quick. He was pretty fun to race around last night. Hopefully he wasn't caught up in that big accident at the end.
Dude, a big accident's an understatement there, pal. Pace car about to dive for cover. We have 14 Xfinity cars on the racetrack, ready for heat number 1. Joe Torres, Joshua Vital, your front row. The 29th control car, and we are green. Season underway.
These guys, I was going to say, these guys getting up through the gears. We're going to see a little bit of pushing here between the front 4. Everybody else in that outside line from about Dennis Hansman on back is kind of hanging back there, AJ.
Absolutely. You're going to see that a lot, especially early on in this 35-lap race. There are no faster pairs. You race until you wreck out or finish the race. That's it. But looking at what we have right now, something that we have a little different in the RICMOTECH Xfinity series than we do in IRL Xfinity racing is they are allowed to hook up and go here.
Yes, they are, and that's very enjoyable to race that way, if you ask me there, AJ.
If you ask me, I'm up in that guy's rear bumper the entire way, and so I'm close to blowing up. And I would want the guy behind me to be snugged up too. So pack racing is some of the best racing for sure.
Dude, we saw you pushing people while they didn't want to be pushed, and they were making a lot of headway.
It's something I pride myself in on plate racing like this is being a good pusher. I'm not a good lead car, I'll tell you that.
Here they come through 3 and 4 on lap 2. So far, that outside lane has 3 cars from nose to tail, but that inside lane not really put together, but able to use the short way around the track to hold on to that lead, as Joshua Vital just sneaking ahead of Joe Torres.
He barely fit that car in there, AJ. What a move by Josh.
Yeah, you really got to be careful, especially going at those high speeds. It looks like Vital wanted to go up and block Alan Fox in the 73 Doobie Chevy Camaro. You got to be careful with those blocks. We saw a bunch of those last night where they were last second. Anthony, I think you were in a couple of those where the last second blocks almost ended up with a car being turned headfirst into a wall.
I was a part of one where it did end up with the truck head first into a wall. I believe we were on the back stretch, and I want to say the 15, but it was just a racing deal. I felt bad afterwards, but what are you gonna do? It's Daytona. It happens.
So, Mike, there's a question in the Discord, not the Discord, in the chat. I want to get your answer with, because as everything right now is for the most part calm, what would you guys do in this race? Like your prep slash how do you race? And Mr. Subway, we're gonna get your answer to that afterwards.
No, AJ, according to what I would do is for the most part, for at least the first half of this race, I kind of hang out back to see how the energy in the pack is going to be. And if I feel like it's calm enough, I'd make my way toward the front. But if it's too dicey, I'm like, I'm going to ride out in the back and let the craziness happen. And then if we get a couple yellows, then I'll be sitting in a perfect position to go crazy at the end.
Subway, what do you got for that? How do you prepare for a super speedway race?
Kind of similar to Mike here. You just gotta mentally prepare.
As they're 3 wide right there. Wow, look at the 7 with a full head of steam. Pimply, great run on the inside. Continue.
You gotta mentally prepare. I always go into a restrictor plate track, not expecting to finish the race because it's a wild card. Like the whole race is wild card. You never know what's gonna happen. So I ride, and I like Mike. I get a vibe, and once I can understand the vibe, I can make moves.
As we are now on lap 6, Mike, what are you seeing?
I was gonna say I think that's what Robinson in that 22, Gary Wells in that 27 are kind of doing. They're kind of riding out behind the main pack a little bit. Now they're starting to close in a little bit once it's gotten a little bit calmer.
I'm happy you mentioned them because we're bringing it back once again another night. There's Gary Wells. It might be frozen.
I was gonna say, is that live or is that frozen?
That might be frozen. So I know we have Michael Robinson. There he is there. I was like, how is Gary doing that? He's not even looking at his screen.
I was gonna say that's some talent, man, to race like not even look at your screen.
I was gonna say that definitely is pretty talented for sure.
There's Michael Robinson, who is currently on the outside of the 27 of Gary Wells. You see the 22 Podium Esports Chevy Camaro.
He's got the throwback Dale Jr. hat on too, looking good there, Mike.
Jumping on board with him so you guys can see the input. Oh, look at the run he's got here.
He's got a heck of a run.
And that's what the draft here at Daytona does. You can be 4 or 5 cars back.
Oh!
And you just
Sorry.
it scared me a little bit.
Well, that 6 car came flying up right in front of him. I was like, that was pretty late, if you ask me. Now he's gonna go 3 wide middle.
That was Kyle Miller.
Oh! Contact.
Yeah, Crim's backing out of that 47. Crim saw enough of that, and he's like, I'm done.
Oh, look at the 29. Couture has cracked the apron a couple times. Yikes. Oh, but look at the 7 of Ethan Pimply. 22 positions plus. That's not right. He started shotgun on the field, let's put it that way. And he's already in first, and we're on lap 9.
That's pretty impressive, but easily not so easily done.
Sorry.
Well, got loose off the front of the 6 there.
That's gonna open up the door to the inside.
Oh, he got a hell of a push right
there.
now. Here we go. There we go. And they're wrecking.
Caution, yellow flag.
Mike Robinson in it.
Mike Robinson's facing the wrong way and currently being pushed by the 31 of Daniel Paulus.
It was only a matter of time.
You know, they were in the wall coming out of 2. That slowed everything down. I don't think these cars are terribly beaten up, to be honest with you. You're going to see that 7 of Ethan Pimply smack the wall a couple times. There's that. Everybody starts loosening up, and I think, honestly, all this isn't as bad. There's some front-end damage to both the 31 of Paulus and the front end of Robinson as they keep bumper carring the whole way. Oh, there's some rear-end damage to the 22 as well. But that could have been a lot worse with a lot more cars.
Oh, yeah. None of those cars don't look too torn up. I mean, maybe Robinson a little bit, but get on pit road and get some adjustments and see what they say.
Yep. And the good thing about Daytona and big tracks like this, like Daytona, Talladega, Pocono, is you're involved in an accident. If you can get it back to pit road, 9 times out of 10 you can get a majority of that damage fixed and get right back into the fight.
And I think this basically takes the complete strategy out of it. They were going to have to pit for a little bit of fuel. Now, they are good to the finish.
Unless we get a green, white checkered.
I still think they might still be okay. How much were you guys getting last night?
I think it was
24, 25 laps on fuel. But I was also 4 or 5 cars down in a row.
Okay.
So I was able to be like 40% throttle for a majority of the race. So
Vital, Goodpaster, Lamb, your first 3 out. Then you're gonna have Joe Torres, Dennis Ansman, Gary Wells, Eric Stout. Looking pretty good so far. We're under our first caution of the evening here on lap number 11. You're watching All-Star 15 TV's broadcast of the XMS RICMOTECH Xfinity series. Whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or now TikTok, hit that like button, subscribe, follow, do all that wonderful stuff. And we're going to take a quick commercial break to thank our sponsor.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
The search is over. The most comprehensive oval scoring solution is here. Featuring oval playoffs, adjust drivers per round, custom number of rounds, custom playoff points, provisionals, optional win and you're in, custom playoff displays, rookie championships, optional minimum participation, and load those results in seconds. Visit extremescoring.info today.
RICMOTECH, high-performance sim racing equipment. There's only one place to go, RICMOTECH.com.
And we are back, just about to hit the loud pedal once again. The iRacing official safety car about to take that left-handed turn down pit road. Final Goodpaster, your front row. Lamb Torres, your second row. Ansman and Wells, your third row. And we are green once again.
good start by that inside line, nice packed. as they're ripping through the gears.
Looks like the inside line is a little bit more organized right now compared to the outside.
Absolutely, and you're going to see that really pay dividends when they come off of turn 2 here. The only thing that outside lane's going to do is Gary Wells has to get to Joe Torres in the 29. And then they could really be putting up a fight. As by the time they get to turn 3, that 33 of Goodpaster might be even. Not quite yet. Oh, I don't. Is Gary being kind of relaxed? Doesn't want to push the pusher in a way? Because I know that could be very scary.
I mean, he can be relaxed and not push the pusher, but
you still want to progress your line.
Yes, he did say he was going to be aggressive tonight, so let's see some aggressiveness out of this man.
Yeah, yep.
Sorry if that's an inside joke for people if you didn't watch the broadcast last night.
77 getting a little swirly there on the inside.
Caleb Lamb, scary right there.
I will say it's one of the scariest feelings when you're pushing somebody, when you're that second person in line and you see the inside grass for a second. Terrifying.
Another reason why I am very much happy in the broadcast booth high atop Daytona International Speedway right now, and not in one of those cars, because I would need a lot of fire suits for a weekend. Vital on the inside with a great push from Caleb Lamb. Watch that 26 just get pushed way out front. But he's going to stay on that inside with his teammate as Caleb almost pushes him right up to the outside.
As we're going to see here as we're getting into the second half of this race, the pushes are going to be a lot more aggressive.
Yeah, we're just about to hit 20 to go next time by.
Got teammates on the bottom working well together right now. Vidal and Lamb. The guy behind them too, Dennis Ansman in that 3 car. That man's a very solid plate racer. Raced with him for a long time. He's very solid.
Oh. Okay, I just suck. Sorry, my Caleb Lamb just popped the apron, and I thought we were about to lose 5 or 6 Xfinity cars. How much of an issue is popping that apron in the turn, Mike?
Depending on if you're looking exactly at their bumper, it's pretty easy to hit the apron. Because
you're
focused, if you're focused on the bumper of the guy in front of you, and let's say they dip down, then you'll dip down, and it's just kind of easy to dip down a couple tires below the white or yellow, I should say.
Remember, that double yellowed line is out of bounds.
Oh, trouble! Woo! Or not. What a save.
How? How did they save that?
I don't know. That was incredible, though.
I'm going to back it up because it didn't pop up as an incident, so we have to do it the old-fashioned way. Watch this. You're looking at the 7 of Pimply.
Oh, is that Gary that he got into? We're going to find out.
I don't think so. I think it was the 28 of Joe Torres, yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know. He lost it.
And you normally get light through the tri-oval, but that was right after a pit stop you got light. That's a little weird.
Tell you one thing, that's going to kill Krim, because Krim in that 47 has lost the back of the pack unless one of those guys in front of him drop down to hook him up. But he might lose the pack.
Not just Krim, Pimply as well.
Yep, Pimply's way back there now.
Yeah, he's about 12 seconds off the pace as there it goes. At the 73 of Alan Fox it was, but he's going to be able to get back on the racetrack, grab somebody's draft, and keep going.
77 was loose and sideways in front of the field there for a second.
This whole front pack has completely broken up.
Yeah, these guys are fighting their cars right now. Look at Robinson. He was just involved in that wreck, and he's getting a push from Joe Torres, who was just in the outside wall. They're trying to make that outside line work.
Yeah, they're really trying to make that outside lane work, Mike. And it's like they're trying to force it. So I'm really nervous for the longevity of these cars right now.
Now, it looks like Krim was able to hook up with a couple of guys back here, so he's going to be in the main draft still, but I think some of those guys don't want to get up with the rest of these guys up front because these guys are all over the place right now.
Yeah, this is getting nervous. You know, I kind of wish Taylor Bertram was in this first heat with all of this going on, because he actually wears a heartbeat monitor, and you could see his beats per minute and all that cool technical stuff like you would see on an IRL broadcast. It's pretty wild. I'd be going crazy with well over 100 something beats per minute with that. Oh, Robinson's loose.
I think it's a good time to go to that driver cam because he's probably fighting that wheel.
You know, that is a great idea. Oh, Crimson the wall. Robinson has fallen all the way back to P12. I'm bored with him right there.
At least I get a hand off the steering wheel right there.
That's skill right there. That is a lot of skill.
Yeah, that's some skill to do that in the middle of the corner at 200 miles per hour.
Yeah, well, after the corner he just had, that was probably child's play.
Oh, 26 loose on that. There's that front car on the inside.
Oh, boys. This intensity is picking up here.
Yeah, you have no idea. We just hit 15 to go.
There goes Kyle Miller to the bottom. He slid right in front of Josh Vidal. He wants to take the lead.
And Miller having a good race right now. Everything's working on that number 6 Camaro. Has a very strong car behind him, but that outside lane, don't overlook them. Caleb Lamb, I think his furthest position he's been back was 5th. So he's got a rocket ship on that 77. Pimply, in a couple laps is going to go a lap down. What do you got, Subway?
I was just gonna say, as you guys can see, there's only 4 cars in the outside line. Compared to the bottom side, the outside can work with only 4 cars if done properly. And as you can tell, those 4 guys that were out there, we're making it work with the 6, 7 cars on the inside.
Well, Caleb Lamb did lead that last lap. So that outside lane is working good, and so good, Caleb Lamb ditches them and drops down right in front of Kyle Miller.
And Kyle's just going to swap right up. They're going to change lanes right there. Those two just changing lanes with each other.
Yeah, but that puts the teammates right next to each other once again. Nose to tail on that inside lane. But Dennis Ansman is, I thought, going to the extreme outside, foxholing the 6.
Oh, Knapp going to slide right down in front of Caleb Lamb right there.
Yeah, Miller staying up front. And within a lap, loses the lead, gets it right back.
Getting a little swirly. It's about to pick up.
Yeah, business is about to pick up. Pay window is opening. You got to remember, bonus points to the duel winner. Mike, do you remember how many bonus points that is? Is it 5?
I believe it is 5.
Imagine going into the first race of the year with a points lead.
Pretty nice.
That's what I was trying for last night when I went 3 wide in the final lap. And that first duel on the trucks.
Well, we all thought we were going to get an Atlanta type finish with 3x3x3, but it turned into insanity after that.
They were 3x3x3, but 3 wide, 3 upside down, 3 backwards.
That's true. That's true.
Joe Torres trying to go through the middle by himself. That's not going to really work.
Yeah, you would need a heck of a slingshot to make it work, and then you would still need help.
He's gonna try it. He's trying it all right.
You also got to think about side drafting is a heck of a thing in these cars, especially the trucks last night. You know, if you use it properly, you can pick a driver off one at a time, making your way up to the front, but eventually you're gonna need drafting help.
And here's the thing. All Joe Torres needs to do is finish this race. He doesn't technically need to win this race. He won the pole.
True. Got a 2-car tandem up top with the 77 and the 3. I don't know how well they work in the Xfinity car. I don't race the Xfinity cars all that often, but two trucks can get it done. I've learned in the trucks.
It can get done in the Xfinity cars, but you gotta have a lot of trust in the person in front of you and the person who's doing the pushing. Oh, Caleb Lamb about lost it up there in that outside line.
9 to go.
9 to go, and this is a storm brewing for caution.
Oh yeah, I can see it. I can see it happening.
You said storm, and all I did was picture Jade Cargill. Which, thank our sponsors. You're going to see their graphics in the bottom right-hand corner. Falcon Grafix. Save $10 off your first vehicle wrap when mentioning Mick Olofsson. All-Star 15 TV to Mick Olofsson. The Nerds Do Nerd Things podcast. New episodes every Thursday evening. Next Thursday, they're talking about X-Men Apocalypse and the Wrestling with Nerds podcast episodes on the Nerds site. They are talking about 1997's WCW versus WWE. That's been a lot of fun. Go give them a huge shout out. And then RICMOTECH for being the series sponsor for both the Truck Series and the Xfinity Series on Wednesday nights. Side by side. 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. Oh! I don't know what is up with that 77. He has had a lot of issues being that front car on that outside.
Issue with the outside. The one thing I love the outside and I don't love the outside. The reason I don't love the outside is because when the air from the inside will want to suck you down into that driver beside you, and sometimes it'll take the back end of the car and bring it around, and I think that's what's going on.
Here we go. Kyle Knapp gonna slide up there. Dan's gonna slide up there. Whew, we're getting busy now. We're coming up on the lap car ahead.
Oh, there goes the 6. Right back to the inside.
Oh, Josh was trying to split it through the middle.
He's still trying.
Oh, here we go. We got the lap
second.
car. Yep, and we got the lap car right in front of Dennis. Oh, he turned him.
Oh, there they go. There's the wreck.
Oh, Crim's in it. Oh, here we go. Oh, multiple cars. No caution yet. We're still green.
And they're all off the racetrack.
Yeah, we're sitting sideways. No caution.
Oh, this is about to be very interesting.
And there's the rewind of the wreck. Wow, it's like they immediately spun and got off the racetrack. That is insane.
That all started catching that lap car and Dennis.
Yellow flag is
Yep, there it is.
Oh, there's the yellow flag. Was that them trying to fix it?
It was the admins that threw that yellow.
Yep. Alright. That makes sense. Well, Kyle Miller is going to grab the pace car, probably in turn 1. And we're gonna go green, probably with 2 to go-ish. Subway, do you go down pit road, grab tires, grab... probably don't need the fuel. But if you're in the back, what are you doing?
If you're in the back, you definitely go and grab tires. You grab enough fuel for the, I believe it's what, 2 green white checkers in case you need them. I would definitely take a full. If you're in the back, take a full stop here. If you're in the front, it's Daytona. You stay out. Unless you absolutely need the fuel, I would not risk it.
We are gonna see what's about to happen. Our second caution of the evening. Wow, that was wild. Let's see if we can go back now that we have time to view what happened. But you see the 7, he's about to be put down a lap down. The 3 just turns him right in front of Paulus. Prim gets involved. The 12 of Stout also gets involved.
Alan Fox got a piece of that at 73.
Yeah, and he just kept going like a champ.
He ate that, didn't he?
And Dennis came over the radio and said that was on him. He had nowhere to go catching the lap car there, which, I mean, it was going to be a tough situation catching that lap car at the rate of speed that they were catching them.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it looks like everybody from 6th on back comes down and hits pit road.
Gonna be very interesting to see what happens here.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us on this Wednesday evening. You're watching the XMS RICMOTECH Xfinity Series live on All-Star 15 TV. I'm AJ Capola. You have Mike Campeggio and Mr. Subway Anthony Campbell up in the broadcast booth high atop the World Center of Racing. Just 4-ish laps to go. I think it's going to end up being a green-white checkered, but it won't be an attempt.
Won't be an official attempt, yeah.
Yes, and we do get 2 of them.
It's going to be the old-fashioned green-white checkered before green-white checkers.
Oh, you know, fair point. That's a fair point.
Wow, this has been a lot more eventful than the way our first race went last night. We didn't get our first caution till 2 to go.
That's true. And no fault of my own. I mean, it was me. I didn't. I'm not gonna lie to you boys. About halfway through that race last night, that first duel, I was ready to go. I was like, my first time in this series, my first time, you know, around. Like, I want to make a name. So I was pushing whoever would be in front of me. I was ready to go.
And the pace car lights are off, AJ. We are going to get an old-fashioned green-white checker.
Yes, sir.
And these boys are going to be pushing.
Yeah, this is going to be wild. There's going to be no quarter at all between these drivers.
We thought we were having a show before this caution came out. I think the real show's about to start.
You're right. Oh boy.
It just came over radio that Gary Wells in the 27 said he's ready to go. Said he's been ready the whole race. So he might be one to watch here.
Speed, I am speed.
That long-awaited pace lap before the green drops after a caution.
You know, all you're doing on this pace lap. I mean, you got nervous energy. I mean, you're sitting in those cars. You're like, okay, I got a plan. I got to be aggressive, and it's just like you're sitting in there like, all right, let's just get this going. Like, I'm ready to go. Like, you're in that mindset where it's like, I want to get back going here.
Yeah. Now, Mike, I have a question for you, being a fellow racer and all. At a place, at a track like Daytona, Talladega, when you're getting ready to come to that final restart, or that potential final restart, Do you think about a plan A, plan B, plan C?
I try to keep 2 plans at least.
Okay. Okay. I do as well.
I have none.
Green flag. Green flag.
And we are green once again. Green, white, checkered attempt. Not an attempt, but it's a green, white, checkered. Dual popsicle sticks up in the air. We are side by side. That inside lane looking really good. Vital's got no help on that outside.
Nope, that outside line did not have the greatest of restarts, but as we saw last night in the truck duels, doesn't take much, doesn't take long for the outside line to start, as you see it forming and more packed together right now.
Oh, here comes a big push on that bottom line. Robinson got
Oh!
shoved off. He's in the grass. Goodall's on the wall. Robinson saved it. We're good. We're still
Nope.
green.
And we see the 73 of Alan.
Oh, no! Oh, man.
Oh, that one's gonna hurt.
Oh, that is... Oh, wow. That's going to hurt big time.
I hope his hands are okay. That's Caleb Lamb and Jeffrey Goodpaster right here. We're going to watch it from a couple different angles, but wow.
Oh, that might have been... Was that a little bit of net kill before that?
That was...
I mean, they were probably going to make contact regardless, but... Oh.
26 gets involved. Wow.
Caleb Lamb hit that wall like Kyle Busch hit that wall in 2012 in that Xfinity race.
We're going to jump on board with Caleb Lamb here.
Oh, it's just no warning.
And he just lost steering, so that car might be a little broken. Wow.
That's one of the worst feelings as a driver. You're on the bottom line. You're thinking, okay, we're covering the white flag. I'm in the perfect position here. And then all of a sudden that happens. You're just, oh. It happens within like brink of a second too.
Yeah, it's devastating because your mentality is I'm doing good. We're in a good spot, and then you're doing burnouts before the checkered flag.
Wow. And that stinks because a lot of good drivers were involved. Lamb was never outside the top 5 until that incident right there. Ansman was having a good race. Goodpaster was having a good second half of the race. Obviously, Krim and Paulus also not having a good second half of this race. But even Joshua Vital sitting on pit road, he didn't get the full contact. He just got enough to where he's going to need some help. But look at the front of that 26. Ouch. Well, your pole sitter, Joe Torres, has made it all the way back up towards the front.
He has looked very good up to this point. Has looked.
He's
quick.
been a very smart driver, Anthony. Early in the race, he decided to drop back, run around, miss the wrecks, the big part, missing the wrecks, and the first green white checkered attempt, he's gonna have a shot to go for the win.
I'm gonna be completely honest. From a driver standpoint, I would want to start in that second row if I'm being honest.
I'd want to start somewhere around friends, to be honest with you.
That's true. That's a big part too.
Now, everybody, do not go anywhere after this first heat. We have heat number 2. That's going to give us a starting lineup for the outside row for next week's Daytona 250. And the lights should be off on that pace car. And with that, we're going to take a very quick commercial break. And when we return, it'll be the restart. Our green-white checkered restart.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
All right, everybody, we are back. And we are just about to hit the first green-white checkered official attempt. We do get 2 of them. And if it's anything like we just saw coming out of turn 4 last time, we're about to have a lot of pandemonium. And if TJ was here, a whole lot of chaos. Joe Torres, Kyle Miller, your front row, and green in the air. Here we go. Overtime.
The outside line did not even go there.
Yeah, they left him.
Well, Joe Torres is out by himself now because he's got one person behind him, but everybody else has now jumped up to the outside line.
Yeah,
now
well,
he's gonna try to block.
You're gonna be stuck in the middle now.
He took way too long to get up to the top lane and block. But for him,
and he turned him. Oh no! We're staying green. No caution yet. Gary's against the fence.
Yeah, Gary's car is dead. It's over for Gary. How have we not hit a yellow?
We're staying green. We're coming to the white flag.
Robinson battling with the 7. There's the yellow.
Oh, and there's the caution.
Ooh. That's the footage from Gary Wells there. Wow.
I want to see what happened before that. I don't know if it was Joe trying to... Were they trying to side draft each other, or did the 6 come up?
Netcode.
Netcode again. It's the second time.
And Gary just got the really bad end of the deal there. Nowhere for that 27 to go.
We won't repeat what we had last year with Netcode.
Oh, come on, Bristol? Really? You gotta bring that up, Mike?
Sorry, AJ.
They made a heck of a soundboard out of it.
They did.
That's a 66 of Michael Caffrey.
Boy, Joe Torres went for a ride, to tell you that much. Holy
yeah,
cow.
Absolutely. Both the 66 and 29 able to drive away, but that's 27, who is having a very quiet day, Gary. Gary Wells, driver of Warrior Enterprises. A very quiet day. Was always in that top 10. Just nowhere for him to go. At all. But this is it. We are going to have one more attempt at a green-white checkered. That is it. And it looks like we have most of the field coming down pit road. Pimpley and Robinson staying out. Everybody else heading to pit road. That's, I wonder why, unless you're short on fuel, what advantage do you see, Subway, to coming down the pit road? Because we just talked about it. Stay out for that track position.
With this final green white checker, I think the only reason for coming down pit road is those drivers aren't going to make it on fuel. I really don't see any other advantage to it. It may be tires, but 2 laps to go, tires really aren't going to make that big of a difference.
Yeah,
Especially at a place like Daytona.
and they're staying on pit road for quite a while, so it's making me think that they're getting tires, fuel, and a full service.
And it's probably some damage repair too.
You know, that's also a very
That's true.
good pull there. I wasn't thinking about that. Ooh, somebody just blew up.
Yeah, I was gonna say I just heard that myself. Somebody blew up on pit road.
The last car on pit road. See if we can get a look at him. It was the 31 of Paulus that just exploded on pit road. That'll be a Toyota Supra heading to the car graveyard.
Absolutely. We're gonna put it next to all the trucks from the duels last night.
Should be coming to the one to go this time by. At this point, next flag ends the race. When they take that green flag. And we are currently down to 8 drivers on the racetrack. 9 drivers if you count Daniel Krim. But he's multiple laps down.
Yeah, it's not. It's look. We were talking about it earlier. How the show was just getting started with that first green white checker attempt, and now it's only 8 cars. They will either learn their lesson and not being aggressive, or they're gonna just go for it. Because you know, you got 8 cars on the lead lap now. There's nothing you can really lose at this point.
9 cars now.
9 cars.
Yep.
Still nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing you can lose.
Yeah, you're either gonna start first, or what is that? 17th.
Yeah. I believe so. Yeah.
Well, down the back straightaway for the final time under caution for the heat number 1 XMS RICMOTECH Xfinity series. Don't go anywhere following this race. We will have heat number 2. Definitely the pace car tonight getting some workout.
Oh, 1000%. But
there's so much.
Daytona.
There's so much. You want to start up at the front at Daytona. The prestige of being on that front row.
Maybe we should put the driver cam up with Robinson here on this restart to see how the intensity is going to be.
No,
Bad idea.
I like your style. Was not thinking that.
Let's see what Robinson's going to look like here as he's getting ready to take the green flag for the final time in this heat duel number 1.
Playing a little back. Just got a pop from Miller. Green flag in the air. That outside lane definitely sleeping because of Michael Robinson.
Oh, he jumped right down to the bottom, too.
Got Fox
Strategy,
right behind
maybe?
him. You know, that might be a good spot for him, too, if you think about it. He's keeping about a car length in between him and Vital. Look at the outside.
Yeah, they popped the 7 out, and the 7's dropping back. He's got no help. He might be out of fuel.
Mike Robinson popping out to the outside. 2x2 coming to the white flag.
I think that 7's out of fuel.
I think so do I. He is very slow.
Oh, Robinson about got turned.
Whoa. Heading towards the white flag, and that's brought to you by the Wrestling with Nerds podcast.
Oh, they're going to get... Robinson got shuffled out. 3 wide for second.
Oh, this is about to be it. Miller just threaded the needle.
Oh.
Daniel Krim running in 4th. Daniel Krim running in 4th, but a lap down, yeah. Fox is looking for it. He's gonna need the help. He's really getting shoved.
Oh, it's getting squirrely up there.
He's gonna have one last shot off of 4. What's he gonna do?
Robinson turns to 47.
Crim's hard on the wall behind him.
And to the line, Joshua Vital is going to win heat number 1.
What a finish.
That was a
What
good
a finish. Daniel Crim was multiple laps down, and he just ate the outside wall in turn 4. But Joshua Vital, Kyle Miller, Alan Fox, Eric Stout, Michael Caffrey, Jeffrey Goodpaster, Michael Robinson, and Joe Torres, the top 8 this evening in heat number 1. We're already moving to heat number 2. That was very fast there.
Yeah, it was. I think they did that last night too, with the truck duels, I believe.
Yeah, they didn't even give me time to hit the result button before they made it disappear. But let's run down the starting lineup here. Front row, Michael Thwaites and Kyle Zimmer. Bryce Senzak and Taylor Bertram in row number 2. Row 3, Joshua King and Derek Kett. Row 4, Jim Ott and Doug Tuttle. Row 5, Ryan Fry and Connor Coleman. Row 6, Brian Wasserman and Caleb Hatt. And Carter Casey rounding out the field, shotgun. Wow, that was crazy.
That was very intense.
I apologize, everybody. It is not giving me the option to pull up the results to show you guys on screen. So I very much do apologize for that. Mike, would you do me the honor in running through the finishing order while they are pacing around?
Yes, so Josh Vidal was the winner. Kyle Miller finished second. In third place was Alan Fox. Let's see. Fourth place was Eric Stout. Fifth place was Michael Caffrey. In sixth was Jeffrey Goodpaster. In seventh was Mike Robinson. In eighth was Joe Torres. In ninth was Ethan, what is that, Pimpley?
Yep.
What's his name? Pimpley, okay. In 10th was Gary Wells. And 11th was Dennis Ansman. And 12th was Caleb Lamb. Just trying to find here. 13th was Daniel Crim. And 14th position was Daniel Paulus. That's the finishing order for Heat Duel number 1.
So write it down there. We will be talking to pole sitter Joe Torres and Heat 1 winner Joshua Vital following Heat number 2. Well, throw 35 more laps on the board. Heat number 2 to give you the outside lane to next week's Daytona 250. Here we... Waiting for it.
Green flag.
There it is. Green flag in the air. Everybody's hitting the loud pedal, and away we go.
Let's see if this duel is going to be as chaotic as the first one, as if this one's going to be calm like it was last night in duel number 2.
The inside line kind of forming a little better than the outside. At least the first 4 cars on the inside is forming up. Already somebody jumping to the outside. That is Joshua King.
Josh King in the very nice looking 17 Chevy Camaro on that outside. Not very much put together looking at that outside right now. But if you go to that inside, Thwaites, Senzak, Ott, and Fry all nose to tail and using that draft to move forward. But that 17's using some side drafting.
He's got that. The car behind him's gotta get to his bumper and start moving that outside line forward.
Yeah, Kyle Zimmer, as you saw it, the minute we got to the turn, he just hit the parachute and backed off of the 17. I know a lot of drivers don't like being pushed through the turns, but on that outside lane, you have to be hooked up the whole time.
As somebody who likes to push anywhere on the track, it's one way to build trust for further on in the race. Because if you end up hooking up with him again, he knows, the driver in front knows he can trust you to push him in the corner.
But so far, so good. It looks like we're going to have an issue calling the Cat car and the King car. They're in the same exact paint scheme, just with a different number. That's Royalty Motorsports there for you. There is no outside lane basically right now. That's insane. The whole first heat, it was 2x2 the whole time.
Now the outside line is just fizzled out.
Except Royalty Motorsports.
Yep.
Derek Cat and Joshua King. And to be fair, Mike, for a heat race, for a dual race, riding around and giving yourself a chance to be there at the end is probably a very smart move. Unlike what we saw in duel number 1, where we had a early caution on lap 9.
Yeah, it feels like this duel right now, AJ's got a totally different vibe. A lot of these guys are single file on the bottom, only 2 guys up top right now. So, to me, this has a whole different type of vibe right now from the second duel race, and it's playing a lot like duel number 2 last night did.
Yes. As we have Thwaite, Senzak, Ott, Fry, and Wasserman, your top 5. We do have a driver in the field with a driver cam. It's the number 5 of Taylor Bertram. Very nice, cool, calm, and collective.
He's hard at work right now.
Very focused.
Yeah, Scott, I recognize that the colors are reversed, but when you look at them real fast, you're not going to know who's driving who or driving what.
I will give them credit. They are trying to get something going on the outside, though.
Yeah, they're using the 93 of Hat. Yes, it is. And it looked to be working there.
Yeah, they're gaining a little bit of momentum here on this outside line now.
They just pulled up to the 57 of Wasserman.
Oh, they're going to get another one.
That.
I was going to say they're going to get
just
another
pulled
one.
out of line?
I think it is. I think it is Ott that pulled out of line. Move Ryan Fry to 3rd right there.
Yep.
And Ryan's a really good plate racer. Oh, there
we
goes
got
the 93.
trouble!
The 93 just split them.
Holy cow, and he saved it too. Holy cow, he saved that.
Yep, that's a going back for that. He's going to get a bump from the 21. And watch this just split and right back into it.
Whew.
And unfortunately, I think he's going to end up losing the draft here. Oh, 100%. He's already 2.5 seconds back to Connor Coleman.
I hope Taylor was looking out his mirror, because if he wasn't, I don't think he'd want to see how close that was to his back bumper.
No, not at all. Holy cow.
That was close. My word.
That was like some Matrix type thing on the racetrack.
Yeah.
You know, like I said last night, sorry, Mike, you can wreck, but as long as you don't hit anything, just pray for a caution.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he did. What do you got, pal?
I was just gonna say, I think a lot of those guys saw what just happened. They're like, "Yep, no more outside line for right now. We're just gonna ride and get some laps going."
And that's what you're gonna have. You're gonna have some sketchy bumps causing some sketchy moments. What a move to just not hit anything. I mean that is 99% luck when it comes to not hitting anything, and then to that save was phenomenal. I thought he was gonna clean out Taylor Bertram.
I thought for sure he was taking another car with him.
Kudos to you, pal.
Yeah, no kidding. That was very, very fun to watch.
And we are single file from 1st to 12th. From your leader, Michael Thwatz, to Connor Coleman. It's just under a second and a half. All in the draft. We are on lap 10. You're watching the XMS RICMOTECH Xfinity Series live on All-Star 15 TV. Glad to have you with us. Check out our sponsors in the description of this video. Wow, it's been a very cool, eventful night. I'm up in the broadcast booth with Mike Campiggio and Mr. Subway, Anthony Campbell. Duel 1 was very, very fun. A lot of wrecked race cars, but Joshua Vital ends up winning with Joe Torres claiming the pole for next week's 250. But looking at the front of the pack here, the driver, the number 99, Michael Thwatz, he's going to start outside pole next week in the 250. But don't go anywhere when this race concludes, because we won't just talk to our front row drivers next week. We'll also talk to our duel winners as well. Mike, this has gotten to be a very calm race 10 laps in. We've only had one scary incident, and it didn't even bring out a caution. Do you think these drivers sitting around through the first duel learned something?
Oh, I think so. Just seeing how crazy and chaotic that first duel was, and these guys getting a chance to sit there and watch it and be like, okay, now I know where not to push this guy or push this guy in the corner, or you know what I mean? But as we're talking right now, that outside line is starting to get the boot scooting boogie back.
Yeah, Jim Ott and Carter Casey on that outside lane trying to make it work. They're going to have Royalty Motorsports right behind him. That's Derek Catt and Joshua King.
.32 got a little swirly coming out of turn 2, but you got it collected, and
yeah, he's a little sketchy entering these turns, because he's entering these turns a little higher than everybody else on that inside lane, and coming off the turns not glued to that yellow line. That's going to open up the door for the 57, or worse, he's going to get foxholed and sent to the back.
Yep.
One thing it is doing, it's keeping the 99 and 09 in front, because nobody else is trying to make a pass behind the 32.
I got to remember, too, if we stay green here, we're going to see green flag pit stops coming up, and you're going to have to get down to pit road speed limit and not lose the car.
True, easier said than done, especially going 200 miles an hour.
And once again, that outside lane is completely disintegrated. We had it for a lap or two. And then once again, only two drivers. You have Ott, and it looks like Coleman just relegating themselves to the outside. As I say that, Ott drops down to the inside.
See, if I was in this duel, I'd be like, come on, guys, let's go. What do we got to lose? You know, we only have gain.
Yeah, it's only a points race if you win. That's it.
If you win, yep.
Checkered or steering wheel. Because come next week, it doesn't matter where you start. We've talked about it till we're blue in the face. You could start dead last. We've seen them go from last to top 5, if not first, by the end of the race.
Yep.
It's Daytona. As long as you got a car that you can draft with, and you hold a decent line, you can go anywhere.
Oh yeah. As long as you're in the draft and you know you're not missing a front end, you're good to go.
Right now, we're looking at the biggest mover of the race. It's Brian Wasserman, who went from 11th all the way up to 4th.
I think these guys are very content to ride like this until green flag pit stops. This the vibe I'm kind of getting right here.
Yeah, same here. Same here. And there's nothing wrong with that. That is just preservation for the finish. But also, how long are these guys gonna go? Are we gonna see pit stops in a lap or two to throw it halfway? Or are we gonna see until they can't go any further? Because last night in the trucks, we were seeing pit stops right around that lap 17 to 20 mark. It's going to be really curious to see how people are going to hit pit road.
Yeah, because do they all come together? Or they come in groups? Like where at in the group do you come down? Because it could be the first couple cars, it could be the middle cars. You know, there's no telling.
I mean, I hope you're talking to the people, because that's going to make it so much easier. I would stagger it, and then once you get to pit road, go to the right of pit road, like you're supposed to. But when it comes to Daytona, Talladega, you don't want to be right on top of each other hitting pit road, because if somebody's going to make a mistake, you're going to get right in it.
Right, because there is not one breaking point that is the same. Everybody's breaking point is different when attempting to get on pit road under green flag.
And we saw it last night in the Truck Series race. We saw multiple trucks hit pit road, spin out, whether it was spin out to the inside right into the wall or spin out into the grass, and then that just screws everything up because you're going to get an unsafe pit entry, an unsafe pit exit, and you're going to incur a penalty doing it that way.
Yep. Outside line forming again. Just got him up to third.
Yeah, that outside lane with the 17 of Joshua King being able to hold it up there, getting pushed by Jim Ott. That is looking like the group to basically use the outside to their advantage. It's been Royalty Motorsports and Jim Ott all the way on that outside. And there it goes. They're up to P2. That 17 is even to the 09.
Oh, Fry was loose underneath that 17. That 32 car was walking that double yellow line.
And not a knock on that 32 car. He is normally not this high up in the running order. He is only up here on these super speedway tracks. So running around once or twice a year like this is not gonna, you're not gonna feel comfortable doing it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it's a lack. I don't want to say a lack of experience, but it's not a lot of experience running up in the top 5 or top 10. I know for a fact a lot of tracks this season in the Truck Series, I won't be towards the front. I can promise you that. I'll be the mid to low back, and it's just because lack of experience on the track.
And the only way you're going to get experience is doing what Ryan's doing or doing what Joshua King's doing. You know, a lot of these guys, while some of them came from last year into this year, we have a lot of new faces.
And a lot of it too, just to touch off of what you were saying, old faces with new faces. These guys gotta get comfortable racing around each other, and the only way to do that is to do exactly what they're doing right now, mixing it up.
And we just hit lap 21. We should be hitting pit stops within the next 5 or so laps, unless they call it sooner. Oh!
Unless we get a yellow sooner.
Yeah. Yep. That's exactly it, Mike. I saw it happening right there with the 99 and the 4.
I thought somebody was coming to pit road there, but they went back up on the track. We got a lap car we're coming up on too. It's gonna get a little dicey up here.
Yeah, well, remember what we saw last time with the first lap car of the evening. And that's gonna be Caleb Hatt. Does he just get out of the way, or is he going to stick to the high side or the inside and everybody's got to maneuver around him?
I don't know, but he's got to make a quick decision here because they're coming like a hungry pack of dogs.
Yeah. I was hoping he was going to pull low on the backstretch and let them go. But he's going to move it to the high side as he almost puts himself in the wall.
Oh, he put himself in the wall that time. Woo! Hello.
And so far, so good. We stay green. That could have gotten bad, because sometimes the wall will hold on to you, and sometimes the wall will throw you and spit you out.
Oh yeah.
As we've seen a couple times last night.
Oh yeah. I kissed the wall a few times last night, the outside wall, I won't lie. Not very hard to damage anything, but enough for me to know it was there. I was really lucky.
Currently your race leader. You have the 09 of Bryce Senzak to the outside. He's currently even with Joshua King. And Senzak is going to lead that lap. And fastest lap of the race, 24 laps in. Carter Casey with a 47.34. So they're still clicking off fast lap after fast lap after fast lap. And it's a bunch of different drivers hitting fast laps.
Oh yeah, just to touch up on how close they were at the line. 2 thousandths of a second separated them. That's how close they were.
I mean, we had a finish like that last night.
Oh yeah, that's true. In the first duel,
and half of them were upside down, backwards, and
somebody was on me upside down. They were on top of me.
You were waving at them.
Oh yeah, we were talking through the front windshield.
But everybody was probably full on the gas too, trying to be the first one to the line. They weren't lifting.
Oh, why would you?
I noticed I was backwards. I won't lie, I threw it in reverse.
You know, I don't know if I would have thought of that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think I would have thought of that either. That's pretty smart. But when do we pit here, boys? Because we're coming up on 10 laps to go here.
Your guess is as good as mine. You know, sorry.
Oh. We're checking up here.
It's getting dicey.
Oh, Ryan almost put it to the inside of the 99. And that completely chewed up that inside lane. The 21 is just going to duck down. That's Derek Catt and take over third place.
That's going to leave Carter Casey up there by himself. Lone man on the outside.
Yeah, not anymore. Now we have no more outside. And I would expect to see pit stops soon now that everybody migrated down to the inside lane.
I would think within the next couple of laps, as we're coming up on lap 27.
I'm just excited to see everybody
here
peel
we
off.
go.
Here we go. Kyle Zimmer, Connor Coleman, and Caleb Hat, all hitting pit road.
We got a group of 3.
Yeah, you get a speeding penalty though here, or you spin into the grass here. That's race over. So you
Game
gotta really be dialed in.
Yep.
Sit and match. But I don't know if 3 drivers is enough though. You might have to come down pit road with an actual 5 or 6 car group. Do you have any takers this time by? Nope.
Nope. I think the magic number is 4 or 5 in a group down pit road. So I've seen a group of 4 do a tremendous amount of catching up.
Here's a really big issue. That group of 3 cars that just pit are nowhere close to each other on the racetrack. Zimmer entering 3 and 4. Connor Coleman is on the back of the pack of the leaders, and so is Caleb Hat.
And we got basically the entire leaders coming now. Everybody was telling that they were gonna pit this lap, so here we go.
Oh boy. The 09, the 99, and
trouble!
the 28 all stay out.
Oh, the 27's in the inside wall. The 4 was in it.
You see a 27, 21?
Or 21, my bad. Sorry, the number.
You're good.
Number got me.
Back it up and take a look at it. Here they come down pit road.
Yeah, he wasn't gonna make pit road speed limit.
And the 4 just T-bones him. You guys see the 09, 99, and 28 this time by? Yes, we are.
Yes, we do. 3 different. We got a Chevy, Toyota, and a Ford.
Yeah, not used to seeing them work together.
Not at all. Normally, you stick with your own manufacturer, but you know, strange things have happened.
But we only have 1 Ford in the field in heat number 2, and we only have 3 Toyotas. The rest are Chevys.
Oh yeah, they're definitely gonna have to work together then.
And this field is pretty spread out right now, and it's all gonna be how they're gonna merge.
Send Zach through 1 and 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got those 4 guys going. Yeah, and then the other guys are just going into turn 1 now. These guys might be pulled out ahead of these guys.
It's going to be very close. Those guys coming out of 2 now shouldn't be battling. And that's Ryan Fry and Taylor Bertram on that outside. They got the gap down to 3.5 seconds. On board with Ryan Fry.
They need to really start pushing. We got 5 to go. You really got to push now to catch those leaders.
Down to 2.5. It's literally 3v4 or 4v4.
Now they're catching them.
What group of 4 is going to come out on top?
Well, remember the 21 is a lap down.
And the 21 was just black flagged. He was just black flagged for that incident. So this is going to help that second group.
Oh, it's not even a contest anymore.
Four laps to go.
4 laps to go, and those guys are under a second.
Oh, they're gonna be side by side on the back straightaway, I bet you.
Just one of these first 3 cars throw a block.
Probably. I would assume so.
Here we go.
And it'll probably be a big one. Or a bad one.
Taylor's pushing Ryan right here. They're going to have a huge run going into 3.
It's got to be timed right to be effective.
He's got to time it right about... Oh, Carter through the block. Oh, Taylor didn't go up. Now he went up.
Oh, Ryan almost just sent Carter Casey.
And we got a race now. 3 laps to go. Oh, somebody blinked out back there.
Yeah, it was the third car on the inside lane to the 57 of Brian Wasserman that just blinked out.
And at a place like Daytona, blinkers are the most terrifying.
That outside lane is completely stalled once Carter Casey got out to the outside.
Yeah, they're not really pushing each other either. If they're going to make this work, they got to push until, well, Taylor just jumped down to the bottom and just drop kick those 2.
Dual popsicle sticks up in the air from Barney the Flagman. 2 to go.
This is where the
waits.
Sorry.
Wasserman, Carter Casey, Ryan Fry, Josh King, Taylor Bertram. Those drivers, that top 7 right there. Anthony, what do you got?
This is where that experience of the 32 running up front comes in. Needs to be glued to that 28 bumper as he dips down until joins the bottom line.
These boys get single filed out. We are going to come to the white flag.
Oh, boy. We made it to the white flag, boys. Well, not yet. Not yet. Now we've made it to the white flag, brought to you by the Wrestling with Nerds podcast.
Oh, and that's going to shuffle that outside line back. They got no momentum now. Who's going to pull out and make a move here?
There goes the 17 to the outside.
But nobody goes with him.
Nobody went with him. Oh, there goes the 57. Wasserman to the outside.
Nobody
Taylor
goes
Bertram's
with him
going to fill
either.
the hole.
Oh, Bertram gave the Thwaites a shot.
Coming through 3 and 4 for the final time. Side by side, does Wasserman have a push out of 4?
Oh, Fry is sideways behind them.
Fry is sideways. There is no one to contest Senzak. Senzak is going to win heat number 2.
Caution-free race.
Oh, it had its moments, all right.
Oh,
that is for sure. And caution-free is very rare at a place like Daytona.
Both heat number 2s, last night and tonight, were caution-free. This one didn't even have a wreck.
No, it did not.
Mike, give us the rundown of the results.
All right, so Bryce was the winner. Michael Thwaites in second. Brian in third. Taylor in fourth. Carter Casey fifth. Is my thing just refreshed on me here? All right. Sixth place was Josh King. Seventh place, Ryan Fry. Eighth place was... This is Kyle Zimmer. Was in eighth. Ninth place was Doug Tuttle. 10th was... Who was 10th? Connor Coleman was in 10th. 11th was Caleb Hatt. 12th was Derek Catt. And rounding out in 13th was Jim Ott. Was in 13th.
All right, well, let's see if we can get our drivers into the staging room. Here they all come. Nice. Nice. I think that's all of them there. Let's start with our pole winner. I will take it. It is the driver, the number 29, Joe Torres. Joe Torres, AJ, Anthony, and Michael in the broadcast booth. Congratulations on winning the pole for next week's race at Daytona, the Daytona 250. Great job. How was it out there tonight?
It was a lot of fun, actually. It was nice to get acquainted with some of the drivers already on the track. Uh, the race was crazy. I actually enjoyed it.
So, what from tonight, outside of you winning the pole in qualifying, and basically as long as you ran your heat race, dual race, you were going to stay the head of the field at the start of next week's race. What stuff could you have taken learning wise from your duel that you could possibly use next week during the 250?
Well, what I could take from the duel is that what to do and what not to do. What to do is just make sure that I'm up front, make sure that I'm up, just make sure that I'm running up at the front. I don't like being at the back because for some odd reason, I just feel like if you're in the middle or in the back of the pack, it just everything's out of your control. So my goal is to just stay up front, and what not to do is just basically what happened is just get a big lead on the restart, and then possibly going into turn 1 and 2, getting split by the field.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. Once again, congratulations on grabbing that pole. Before we let you go and prepare for the 250 next week, any sponsors, any thank yous, anybody you want to throw out there, shout out there before we let you go?
Absolutely. I'm giving a shout out to Sparta Esports for bringing fast cars. Basically all our sponsors on our cars, Giangra Ranch, Podium, Team Conti, all the other sponsors that we have on our cars. Shout out to my two spotters, Jagger and Brandon, that were watching the race from our other Discord, and shout out to all the people that have been watching this race. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show.
I know we did up here. But yeah, dude, thank you for coming and talking with us. It was an absolute pleasure to actually talk to you again. It's been a while. Can't wait to see what you do next week.
Absolutely, AJ. I can't wait for next week also.
All right, Joe Torres with the pole for the Daytona 250 coming to you live next Wednesday night at 8:35. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you, guys.
All right, that was Joe Torres. We are now going to talk to our outside pole winner. Campigio, I'm going to give that to you. It's Michael Thwaites.
Michael, it's Mike, AJ, and Anthony in the booth. You got us.
I got you.
Well, you got the outside pole for next week's season opener at Daytona, but also talk to me a little bit about your race tonight overall in that second duel you had.
I mean, just led as much laps as I could, just stayed up front, and then they got a run on the high line, and then I was just trying to save a little fuel so I could be on the same pit strategy as Bryce, and then we got out good and was able to stay with him, and nobody could get a run on us after that. It was nice. Couldn't have played any better.
For sure. Did you feel like duel number 2 had a different vibe comparing to duel number 1? Because duel number 1 was incredibly wild tonight.
Yeah, because it seemed like in the duel, it seemed like in our duel, they just were kind of just running single file. It looked like. People were trying to get some runs going on the outside, but then it just wasn't going anywhere for them, so they just dropped back down. So it was definitely a little bit more calm, it seemed like.
Do you feel like you learned a lot for tonight going into next week?
Yeah, I was not expecting the cars to get as loose as they do when they get pushed or when you push somebody. I was not expecting that. Even in practice, it wasn't like that. I didn't feel it that much, but in the race, it was definitely more noticeable. So that's definitely something to learn from next week for sure.
And before we let you get out of here for the night, is there any sponsors or plugs you would like to plug for the people watching at home?
Yeah, of course, RICMOTECH and, XTREME, what Ed does for this league, all the admins, my teammates, what you guys do with the broadcast. Yeah, everybody that sponsors us.
Well, Michael, congratulations on the outside pole for next week in the season opener, and a great job, and congratulations for finishing second in duel number 2 tonight as well.
Thank you. Y'all have a good night.
All right, that was the outside pole winner. All right, Anthony, it's time for you to get your first interview out of the way. It'll be heat number 1 winner, Joshua Vital.
Joshua, this is Subway, AJ, and Mike in the booth. You got a copy?
Yep, sure do.
First of all, congratulations on the Duel 1 win. Tell me how the truck feel tonight, or the car feel tonight, and what it felt like to be out there.
The car felt a lot more unstable than I thought it was gonna be. Maybe just because I haven't ran this car at a plate track as much compared to other cars here. Otherwise, I don't know. I'm not too sure. Every time I got pushed, I had to try to correct it every single time. There's maybe a few pushes I could actually handle and keep it somewhat straight. Besides that, I didn't expect to be up front the whole race. I thought I'd be shuffled back, to be honest.
Well, you were out front and you got the win. What kind of preparation throughout the week do you think you'll have to do for the 250 next week?
Maybe some fuel saving, something like that. I don't know what else too much. I mean, I could either go up there and race hard all race, or go back and fuel save and save it for the end of the race.
Gotcha. Okay, well, again, congratulations. And before we let you go, is there any thank yous you want to get out of the way?
Yeah, first and foremost, the first two I want to thank is RICMOTECH for sponsoring the series, you guys at All-Star 15 for broadcasting this season, along with the main sponsors on my car, JP Customs, Off and Turn 1 Podcast, EMS, and all my teammates that were able to help me out.
Alrighty. Once again, congratulations. And good luck next week.
Yep, thank you.
Joshua Vital, driver number 26, Chevy Camaro. Let's talk to our Heat 2 finisher. That's Bryce Senzak. Bryce, it's AJ, Mike, and Anthony in the booth. You got a copy, my friend.
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, Heat 2 winner. You're starting 4th next week in the 250. How does it feel? How was the race? Did you learn anything from the heats that you possibly can use going into next week's race?
Yeah, it feels great. This is a second season in a row I've won my duel, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's a lot more kind of scary to push somebody. I found that out. It seemed like I was giving Michael like a little taps and I could just see it wiggle just a little bit. And like, that's a bit sketchy. And I stayed close enough to him that like I was heating. I think my water was heating up at like halfway through the run, but managed it and pulled off the win.
Yeah, it looked like a lot of people at random times would just bump out of line, and at that point, how intense was the overheating? Like, how fast would it happen, and would it just creep up on you, or would it just go from you're good to, hey, you're overheating?
Yeah, pretty much like good to overheating. Wasn't sure like on the dash what the threshold was, so that was kind of one thing I had to figure out because it stayed steady. I'd say like 235, 240, and I think it pushed a bit in that 245 range, and then it started flashing on me.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it was pretty easy to manage. It was just a bit tricky when you had that high line come and make a run and trying to hold them off.
Yeah, absolutely. We're talking with Bryce Senzak, the driver of the 09 Toyota Supra, out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. You're starting 4th next week, so the win gets you a upfront starting position. It gets you a good pit stall. Is there any thank yous plugs you want to throw out there before we let you go prepare and rest up for the 250 next week?
Yeah, I mean, thank you guys for doing the broadcast. Ed for all he does put this league together. Thanks to Michael Thwaites, he had a front row locked up through qualifying, and so he said, "Hey, I'm gonna push you to the win here," and that's certainly what he did. Shout out to everyone at Zero 9 Racing. Shout out Spoiler Diecast, Celsius. Shout out to Otherword Designs on this paint scheme. And I think that's about it.
All right. Well, thank you for talking with us, and hopefully we get to have a couple words with you next week.
Yeah, hopefully this isn't the only thing I win like last season, so hopefully to get a few more wins.
All right, Bryce. We'll talk to you, my friend.
Yeah, we'll see you.
All right. Bryce Senzak, the driver of the number 09. Guys, a heck of a night. Glad to have you both back up in the broadcast booth. Anthony, it was great having you up here. How'd you like your first broadcast?
I enjoyed it. It was really fun, and I can't wait to be up here with you guys for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. Mike, it's like riding a bike with you, my friend.
Oh yeah, AJ, it is.
We had what, a 2-month break of broadcasting, and it's just like getting on the bike and going all over again. I missed it. I missed it very much.
I did too, AJ. I did miss it too. But I'm looking forward to the season ahead. I'm glad Anthony will be joining us on Wednesdays for the season. And tonight was just the Kickstarter to what should be a very entertaining and chaotic race next Wednesday, the season opener. I'm ready to run it back a third time. Jokingly, but run it back for real.
All right, everybody, thank you for tuning in. If you haven't yet, help us out. Hit that like button, subscribe, follow, do all that wonderful stuff that helps out our channel, whether it's on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or even now on TikTok. Go like our TikTok page. We broadcast there too now. Sooner or later, we'll probably end up on Twitter or some other streaming service, whatever you got. But yeah, thank you, everybody. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Anthony.
Green flag.
And we will see you next Wednesday right here for the XMS RICMOTECH Xfinity Series Daytona 250. Good night, everybody.
RICMOTECH, high-performance sim racing equipment. There's only one place to go, RICMOTECH.com.